Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be using oil pastels to produce a landscape piece. Oil pastel is a medium I've recently developed a bit of an enthusiasm for through using them for sketching work, so I thought it might be good to document my process and share my thoughts. So I have a couple of sets of oil pastel here, both from Sennelier. The first one on top here is their 72 colour set. I'll open it up so you can see the colours that come with it. It's a pretty comprehensive collection and probably enough to cover most subjects. As I'm a landscape artist, I needed a set that had a good collection of blues, greens, browns, reds and neutral grey tones, as these tend to be the colours I use most often. I've only used this set a couple of times so far and enjoyed it, but I have found there's a significant variation in the consistency of these pastels. Some of these colours go down beautifully with full coverage and rich pigmentation, whereas others, particularly the majority of the greys, are extremely translucent and have a waxy texture upon application. Unfortunately, those characteristics are borderline unworkable for me, and I was left feeling slightly disappointed so many of the pastels in this set had this issue. This wooden box used to house the oil sticks I used in my previous video, although I've now moved those into a different container, and I'm now populating this box with Sennelier's large size oil pastels, which you can buy individually. I purchased these from Cass Art, and the advantage there was their website stated whether the colour in question was opaque, semi-transparent or transparent in the description. So every pastel you see here, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, are classified as opaque, whereas the remaining few are classified as semi-transparent. So this piece today is going to be a bit of a discovery to find out whether or not these labels ring true. Hopefully they do, and I'll have a better time working with them. I also ended up purchasing a couple of extra pastels that I couldn't fit in this box. Just some neutral greys that will no doubt come in handy for any typical landscape subject. So we'll see how we get on, and hopefully I'll end up with a decent piece by the end of the day. The surface I'm working on is Sennelier's own brand of oil pastel paper. These pads come in a variety of different sizes, and I'm using the largest one they offer at 40 by 60 centimeters. The advantage of these pads is every single page comes with its own protective glassine sheet. Most of you will no doubt be aware of the fact oil pastels don't cure over time and always stay pliable, which is why finished pieces are often framed behind glass. So the glassine sheet is a nice addition to offer some protection from dirt and reduce the risk of smudging. I've also got a can of Sennelier's oil pastel fixative, and I'll make use of that at the end to help protect the piece too. So I've got the first page ready to go here with a taped off border and a rough sketch of the scene I'm going to be working on. Okay, so I think I've maybe taken this piece as far as I can. Overall, I really enjoyed working with these pastels. I'm happy with the colours I chose, as I feel as though they all provided me with the palette I typically use in a landscape piece. I wouldn't say it's the easiest medium to use, but having said that, I'm relatively new to using oil pastels, so I shouldn't be expecting too much at this stage, and hopefully my skills will improve the more I use them. I'll move in a little closer so you can see some of the details. I think for the most part, the colours I chose lived up to their opaque classification, although I did find some of them were a little bit more translucent than I would have liked when it came to layering work. Oddly enough, the Sennelier white in particular didn't perform as well as I had anticipated, and I struggled to get the highlights I was looking for in places. Towards the end of the session, I resorted to using the white from the Paul Rubens Hiya range of oil pastel, as that was far more opaque in nature and kind of outperformed the Sennelier in some respects. You can see it in the clouds and some of the lighter passages in the water. It was really quite generous upon application and gave me the impasto marks I was hoping to achieve. So overall, an enjoyable session. I'm hoping to fill this pad with oil pastel work of a similar size to this piece, so I'll keep you posted with my progress. Anyway, hope you've found this interesting, and thank you very much indeed for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.